In the early 1950s, at a government lab in Bethesda, Maryland, researchers began work on a series of experiments to map the workings of the human brain. The project was led by a brilliant young scientist named Dr. John Lilly. Lilly was fascinated by the brain. He was fascinated by what happened to the brain when it was deprived of stimulation. Lilly's answer was to create an early version of the flotation tank. Test subjects were fitted with breathing masks and a floating apparatus, and they were lowered into these huge vats. The water inside had been heated to match the body's temperature, so that floating there, they became effortlessly weightless, losing any sense of the boundary between their physical body and the outer world. The aim of Lilly's early research in this area was simple. He was interested in the potential for human mind control.
On orders from the Kremlin, Russia had launched one of history's most drastic political, moral and economic wars, a Cold War.
It was the 1950s. Cold War paranoia gripped the world, and fear of potential brainwashing by enemy forces became a serious concern.
America, it can't happen here. Well, this is what it looks like if it should.
And Lilly thought flotation could be the key. He wondered, if the brain was deprived of stimulation, could you then dictate what material was fed back into the brain in its place? In other words, could the brain be manipulated? Could individuals be made more suggestible? Could they be controlled? And then the 60s happened. And as the counterculture made its way across America, this brilliant young scientist threw off his Cold War ambitions. But he wasn't done with the flotation tank. He wasn't interested in engineering the mind for military reasons anymore. Instead, Lilly saw that the flotation tank was the perfect tool for exploring human consciousness. Now he wondered, by floating in the darkness, what inner avenues of our own minds could we gain access to? And soon enough, Lilly's work gained attention. And as his profile rose, his ambitions grew bigger, his fascinations became more eclectic. And frankly, things got a whole lot weirder. Lilly developed a fascination with the brains of other intelligent animals.
Come right out with the English, Peter.
And eventually created a government-funded project to teach English to dolphins.
1, 2, 3.
Next, NASA came calling, and Lilly was put in charge of developing an extraterrestrial communications program.
Houston, contact with a test. 1, 2.
And then came Lilly's deep interest in the transformative potential of psychedelics,
and of course, LSD 25,
which he'd eventually administer to human test subjects, to dolphins, and for most of the rest of his life, to himself. Passionate researcher, father of float, interstellar diplomat. Who was John Lilly? And how did he become one of the most ambitious scientists you've probably never heard of?
This is a scientist. This isn't some, nut that I brought out here. This man knows what he's maybe a little nutty, I don't know. But he's a real acknowledged scientist. Now roll this film and you're going to...